Hey, this week on Home Estate Realty Group, we're bringing you the latest market statistics for January 2026, and we're bringing these to you from our brand new listing here at 100 Flaxen Main Court, just north of Winchester.
And what we've done is we've taken the statistics for the end of January 2026 from Market Stats by Showing Time, and it covers the 10 counties that make up Northern Virginia.
Well, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
All right, the median sold price in January was $635,000.
This is down 7.3% from last month.
That's a little surprising, right?
Down 2.3 from last year. So not the greatest news in terms of home prices at all. And again, it could explain the excitement that we're seeing from buyers of late.
Yeah. And maybe the amount of listings that we'll talk about too coming up.
That's right.
The number of homes sold in January was 1,357.
And that is down 35.5% from
Ouch.
last month, another ouch, as well as down 5%. But again, it could be seasonal in terms of Christmas season and us going through a severe snowstorm as well.
Yeah, a little uncertainty brought on by that. The number of days on the market, and keep in mind, this is when a property goes on the market as active to the time that it goes under contract. In January, that was 40 days.
And that is up 5 days from last month and 10 days from last year. So again, a slower market for sure.
Yeah, starting to see that climb just a little bit almost each month, it seems like. All right, the number of homes for sale at the end of January was 2,613.
This is up 8% from last month, up 25% from last year. Now, keep in mind that our previous market reports, it was up 45, 40, 35, now 25. So we're bridging that gap in terms of availability, but it's still good in terms of buyers having choices in the homes that they're getting.
And the properties are staying on the market a little longer, so they have kind of an opportunity to weigh all of these instead of feeling like they're so pressed, right? All right, the sold price to the original list price in January, that changed a little bit too, came down a little bit. It's 97.7% now.
It's about the same it was the month before, 0.1% down, and down 1.3% from last year. And again, it's just what we've been seeing with everything else. The median sale price is down, and so what sellers are getting isn't necessarily exactly what they want, but it's not far off, 1%.
Hey, in addition to the other statistics that we bring to you each month, we thought we'd include one that kind of stood out this last month, and that was the number of new listings that were created in January. We talked about the number of listings that are available there at the end of January, but it was significant to see that in January, 1,817 listings were created, and that is up 85.4% over the month before. So it would be 85.4% higher than December of 25, and then also 6.2% higher than 12 months before.
Yes.
That's a significant number when you see that we talk about these early spring markets. And you're going to see more and more inventory come on. Buyers, take note of that. There's going to be more selection. Sellers, there's going to be more competition. But 85.4%, that definitely qualifies for Shazam.
Yes, and explains why all the agents are seeing all this activity for sure.
Yeah. Well, one of the other statistics that was going to be released at the end of our video period last week was the Consumer Price Index.
Yes.
And that's the CPI, of course. That was released at the end of last week. And that was actually a lower number than they predicted. The number the month previous to that was 2.7%.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind, the Fed chair, our friend Jerome Powell, has always set a goal for 2% for the CPI.
Yes.
You know what? It's getting closer and closer. For January, it was 2.4%. A lot of the pundits, if you will, the officials were predicting it was going to be lower than the month before, that 2.7 number. everybody was kind of predicting like that 2.5. I know this seems just like a little fraction of a difference, but it definitely is now one of the lower CPI reports that we've seen in quite a while.
Yes,
right?
it was really nice to see the movement go down that drastically to the 2.4 for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it explains a lot of, and it actually puts to rest, I think, a lot of the worries that the tariffs would have on the consumer price index, because what he said is he wanted to wait to see how they would be affected before lowering the Fed's funds rate. So this is great news. When do they meet again, right?
They're going to meet again in March.
Okay.
So there's a lot of prediction that that will probably, the federal funds rate will probably stay steady in March. But you never know. With this type of information that was released, there's been some other job reports that have come out that are kind of like all over the map, it seems like. So I think it's anybody's guess as what they're going to do in March. But this is a real good indication, as you point out, that the economy, while it's still growing, is not adding a lot more cost to the consumer. And that's always good news for any part of our economy.
Yes, and that's really good news, especially for mortgage interest rates. It's not a direct correlation. It does kind of trickle down and it takes some time.
Yeah.
But for sure, today's normal interest rate is anywhere between 5.8, 6.2. I think this week we saw a number of 5.8, 5.9, which is really good news for buyers. It's a time that they're trying to lock in those rates if they're out shopping. And I think it's why we're seeing the activities that we're seeing for sure. And it's not only good for buyers, but it's good for sellers. The more buyers out, the more competition you have for your home, the better price you're going to have.
Yeah, and again, we're here at 100 Flaxen Main Court, and this is a brand new listing for us. It's actually brand new construction, and we're definitely starting to see that uptick in activity, not only in this neighborhood. We were just over talking to Jesse, the sales manager here. He's indicating there's been a tremendous amount of activity. We've talked about new construction. It is definitely going to be competitive for the sellers, but new opportunities for the buyers. So get out and take a look.
Yes.
We talk so often about our weekly newsletter, and I am a real preacher of getting out there and looking at it. A lot of the information that we share with you in these videos, very condensed. Get subscribed and get an opportunity to read this newsletter. It is really, really good, Denise.
Yes, it is. What we do is we cover everything from mortgage interest rates. We give tips for buyers, tips for sellers, as well as our investors. We have a number of investors, and so they kind of force us to add that in. And then we talk about what's happening currently. Sometimes it's cultural, sometimes it's active festivals, festivities that are happening. So definitely make sure to tune in, subscribe for a newsletter. We'll have the link in below in this video. So go ahead and join us.
And we're going to get back to that home selling guide in our next video. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss that. Chapter 2.
Yes.
Ciao.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.